Welcome back to another episode of the Napoleon Chronological Wars. Today we're going to be checking out Napoleon in Italy. Guys, look, last episode we got left on a cliffhanger. For those of you guys that are wondering, I'm currently going down Epic History's playlist of Napoleon's Chronological Wars. You can see it here. I'm on episode 3. So if you guys are wondering how you can check out these videos, obviously they're from Epic History channel, as you can see on the screen. I'm also making a playlist which will be linked in my description, so you guys can watch all of my reactions to it in chronological order, so you guys can follow along with me if you would like. So those of you guys wondering what I've done, click this link in the description. And of course, guys, look, this one's going to be a really long one, so make sure you strap in, get your popcorn ready, because this one's going to be entertaining. Epic History always come correct. And yeah, guys, look, of course, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and turn on those notifications. And of course, if you love how I'm doing these historic videos, then continue to smash the like button, so I know you guys want to see more. That's important, guys. And other ways you can support the channel through my Patreon. We'll get exclusive bonus content, as well as my PayPal. If you guys want to donate to the channel, will be linked in the description as well. All of the information you're probably looking for, check the description below this video, and you guys could probably find the answers to that. But yeah, guys, look, I'm really excited for this one, guys. Look, like I said, last episode we got left on the cliffhanger, so let's find out exactly how this story continues, guys. So with that being said, let's get straight into the video. Let's go.
An Epic History TV PMF Productions collaboration. In 1796, at the height of the French Revolutionary Wars, a young French general took charge of a ragged, demoralized army in northern Italy.
Insane how he
It was his first command. Many expected him to fail. Instead, in just 1 month, he won his first brilliant campaign. With astonishing self-confidence, boldness and energy, he led his army to victory after victory.
Insane.
Transforming the war in Europe, winning praise from a grateful republic, and forging a legend. This is the story of Napoleon Bonaparte's first campaign, and the dawn of a new age.
Yo, I love the intense music off the jump. Sets the tone.
May 1796. The French Revolutionary Wars have entered their 5th year. And on what most consider to be a secondary front, there has been a stunning development. A 26-year-old general...
Facts, by the way. Most people weren't really thinking, at least from what it looks like, that much will come out from that Italian front, man. Like, they were just looking at it as like one of those secondary ones that aren't as important. But Napoleon goes crazy.
Stunning development. A 26-year-old general of the French Republic, Napoleon Bonaparte, has waged a lightning campaign across northern Italy, defeating the Kingdom of Piedmont-Sardinia and driving the Austrians across Lombardy.
Insane how he did that, man.
2,000 Austrian troops remain holed up in Milan's citadel, but they cannot prevent his triumphal entry into the city on the 15th of May. Now, the French general holds court at the Palazzo Serbelloni, issuing decrees on behalf of the Directory in Paris, while his troops enjoy several days' rest. Lombardy is to be reorganized as a French client state, known as the Lombardic Republic. Political and economic reforms sweep away the old Austrian state, to the delight of Italian intellectuals in cities like Milan.
Crazy.
But the French also demand 20 million francs to help pay for the war, while their troops requisition vast quantities of food, horses, cattle, and boots. Most inflammatory are their attacks on the property and dignity of the Catholic Church, which enrage Italian priests and peasants, and are a gift to anti-French propagandists. On the 23rd...
I feel like you just foreshadowed there, yeah. It was a gift to anti-French propagandists, or people that are, you know what I'm saying, trying to put that propaganda against this new French people that have invaded. I feel like that's a big foreshadowing right there.
Of May, as Napoleon's troops set off in pursuit of the Austrians, revolt breaks out in Pavia. The next day, there are riots in Milan. Napoleon races back to the city, where order is soon restored.
Crazy.
But on the road to Pavia, at Binasco, he encounters 1,000 armed rebels.
What?
Colonel Lannes' grenadiers rout the peasants, killing 100 and burning the village. A terrible example, which will be effective, Napoleon writes.
Wow. Ay, ay, ay. Uh-oh.
Pavia is retaken the next day with little opposition. A score of ringleaders, including several priests, are shot.
Shot? Oh,
Hundreds of hostages are taken from prominent local families to ensure future cooperation.
Wow.
Napoleon resumes his advance east. His army now organized into 4 divisions: Kilmain's advance guard, Augereau, Massena, and Serrurier. General Berlioz's Austrian army holds the line of the Mincio River, with Lake Garda on his right and the great fortress of Mantua on his left.
That's a fortress.
This, together with the fortresses at Peschiera, Verona, and Lagnago, forms the famous quadrilateral.
Yeah, no way
4 bastions that cement Austria's grip on northern Italy.
Yeah, no way they get past that.
But once more, Beaulieu can't get a read on Napoleon's movements. He scatters his troops, trying to defend 4...
Oh my god, Berlioz is, even in the last episode, this guy was jarring me, bro. He just seems so incompetent, man. Or either that, or he's just getting really unlucky here, because it's just not sounding good for him.
Napoleon's movements. He scatters his troops, trying to defend 4 potential crossing points, and is further distracted by fake preparations to cross Lake Garda by boat.
Unless it's Napoleon.
In fact, Napoleon has decided to cross the Mincio at Borghetto. And when Kilmain's advance guard arrives, they find the bridge defended by a single battalion of infantry and handful of hussars. The Austrians are soon driven back, but a sudden counterattack nearly bags General Bonaparte himself.
See, this is what I'm thinking, because even if he infiltrates through that path that he just showed, like, surely they could, there's risk they could get encircled, because there's other troops surrounding that fortress, you know.
Dramatized account has him hopping over fences with one boot on to evade the hussars.
Crazy. He almost died.
This lucky escape leads to the formation of an elite cavalry detachment to act as Napoleon's personal escort. They are named the Compagnie des Guides à Cheval. Their commander is a young cavalry captain named Jean-Baptiste Bessières. In time, this unit will become the famous Chasseurs à Cheval of the Imperial Guard, the Emperor's ever-present bodyguard on campaign.
Wow, bodyguard.
This video is sponsored by Enlisted, the unique World War II first-person shooter. His features
I have to provide for the defense of Mantua, the key of Italy general. Right. Okay, that's what the commander of Italy is saying.
Taken by surprise by the crossing at Borghetto, Beaulieu begins a withdrawal to a new defensive line in the Adige Valley.
Beaulieu is jarring.
However, at Mantua, he leaves behind a reinforced garrison, well supplied and ready to withstand a siege of at least 2 months. Napoleon cannot bypass Mantua. Its garrison is too powerful. But the fortress city will be a tough nut to crack. Its old walls surrounded on 3 sides by a lake and on the other by malarial marshland. The most unhealthy place in Italy, Napoleon tells the Directory.
Wow.
His biggest problem is his lack of heavy siege artillery. Most of these guns are in Milan, bombarding the Austrians, still holed up in the citadel.
Right.
More guns were supposed to arrive by sea, but have been intercepted by British warships, commanded by a certain Commodore Horatio Nelson.
Crazy. The British warships.
Since April, Napoleon has launched 3 successful offensives, marched more than 200 miles, and won 10 battles.
Insane.
But finally, outside the walls of Mantua, he is brought to a halt.
Oh no.
and the demands on his limited force are growing. He must maintain the siege of Mantua, even though its guns outnumber his own and no direct assault can be made. He must protect his lines of communication back to France and guard against further revolt in Lombardy.
Yeah.
And he must be ready to face the Austrians, who are receiving reinforcements from Germany and will soon counterattack.
Yeah, that's a lot, man. It's not looking good right now.
To add to his problems, the French Directory demands that he lead an expedition to central and southern Italy. He's to threaten military occupation unless these states cough up huge sums to help fund the French war effort. Napoleon vehemently opposes the idea.
Wow.
Marching troops the length of Italy in high summer, he warns, will end in sickness and death.
Okay.
Fortunately, strong words alone persuade Naples to sign an armistice. And in the end, Napoleon doesn't even have to go as far as Rome. The French march through the Duchy of Modena, the Papal States, and the Grand Duchy of Tuscany, raising more than 40 million francs in tribute from states that are powerless to resist. Napoleon dines in Florence with the Grand Duke before returning to Milan. There he is reunited with his wife, Josephine, who's arrived from Paris, discreetly accompanied by her new lover.
Ooh.
Napoleon does not linger in Milan. Its citadel has finally...
Make sure I heard that right.
Wife, Josephine, who's arrived from Paris, dines in Florence with the Grand Duke before returning to Milan. There he is reunited with his wife, Josephine, who's arrived from Paris, discreetly accompanied by her new lover.
Yeah, new lover's crazy. So she's cheating.
Napoleon does not linger in Milan. Its citadel has finally fallen, freeing up his siege guns. His troops have seized another 150 guns from the forts of central Italy. Napoleon can now make serious plans to take Mantua. And he has no time to lose. In the Tyrol, the reinforced Austrian army is beginning to stir. Under a new commander. Beaulieu is gone.
Yeah,
now 72.
Listen, it's about time that Beaulieu guy went, man, because he was not it. I'm telling you, man.
Beaulieu is gone. Now 72-year-old Field Marshal Count von Wurmser is in command.
72-year-old.
A courageous cavalryman, vigorous beyond his years, and determined to avenge Austrian defeats in Italy.
Beginning together. Yo, this epic history video is going crazy, man.
Since crossing the Mincio, Napoleon has reorganized and redeployed his forces. General Massena's division is near Rivoli, watching the road to the Tyrol. Two of his brigades, under General Sorre, are at Salò, watching the western side of Lake Garda. General Despinois' division is in support at Peschiera. General Augereau's division is around Legnago, watching the eastern approaches, while Kilmain's cavalry mounts patrols. General Serrurier's division carries out the siege of Mantua itself.
Wow.
But Napoleon's hopes for a rapid conclusion to the siege are in vain.
Oh, no.
The Austrian garrison conducts a skillful and active defense, raiding French entrenchments and seizing supplies. Murat, recently promoted to brigadier general, plans to lead a group of men in Austrian uniform across the lake at night to take the guards by surprise. But the operation's abandoned when the water level suddenly drops. The French step up their bombardment of the city, firing more than 1,000 cannonballs and mortar shells in one 6-hour period. Mantua is being battered to pieces, but its walls are not yet breached. Napoleon is out of time. Field Marshal Wurmser is finally marching to Mantua's aid. He has divided his army into 4 columns. 2 central columns are advancing down the Adige Valley, directly towards Mantua. Another column to the east is making a wide flanking march.
Not the flank.
While a 4th column, under General Kostanovic, advances down the western shore of Lake Garda, planning to seize Brescia and cut Napoleon's line of retreat. Massena comes under heavy attack and, severely outnumbered, abandons Rivoli and begins a fighting retreat. As soon as the news reaches Napoleon, he races to Castelnuovo, ordering Augereau, Despinois and Kilmaine to join him as fast as possible.
Yeah, this is intense.
But suddenly, it is Kostanovic's column that's emerging as the greatest threat.
Oh.
General Saue's troops at Salo are heavily outnumbered. They put up a stiff resistance, but are forced to withdraw. The next day, Austrian troops surprise the French at Brescia. They take the town, as well as an army hospital containing 2,000 French sick and wounded.
Oh, that's not good.
Even Napoleon's wife, Josephine, en route to Brescia, is nearly captured in the chaos. Wurmser has wrong-footed Napoleon. Already outnumbered, he's lost 5,000 casualties. His left flank is in tatters, and there's a real possibility he may be encircled. It's the greatest crisis he has faced as an army commander.
Yeah, this is what I was about to say. I think this might be the biggest, like you said, crisis he's faced right now. I wonder how he deals with this, because this is not looking good at all.
It's the greatest crisis he has faced as an army commander, and will force him to make an agonizing decision.
Pressure. Every moment is precious. The enemy has broken through our line in 3 places. Napoleon to General Augereau. So this is communication.
On the 31st of July, after 2 months of blood, sweat and sacrifice, General Serrurier is ordered to abandon the siege of Mantua. He is to send 2 of his brigades to reinforce Massena and Augereau, and withdraw with the rest of his troops to guard the army's line of retreat. 179 guns, plus ammunition and supplies which cannot be moved, are to be buried or tipped into the marshes.
Right. That's not good.
Napoleon needs every man he can get, because in the midst of the crisis, he has spotted an opportunity.
Ooh.
Kostanovic's advance has caught him off guard, but Lake Garda separates him from the rest of the Austrian army. Napoleon will concentrate his forces against Kostanovic, beat him in battle, then pivot again to take on Wurmser.
There's no way, because surely after you've gone after the guys on the left, there's gonna be wounded, broken, and like just, tired from that battle, and then they gotta go back to back. There's no way. I think this is his best chance. What he just said here is probably his best chance at taking them out, isolating them each in one by one, and there's no way you get away with this.
The French divisions are soon on the move. Kostanovic's troops reach Lonato, but here they encounter Massena's vanguard. The Austrians come under heavy attack, and with French reinforcements arriving, they have to pull back.
Okay, it was working.
The next day, the French retake Brescia, along with most of their supplies, sick and wounded.
Wow, poor Brescia.
Then, Napoleon catches a lucky break. Wurmser has been on Massena's heels, harrying his rear guard as far as Peschiera. But now he receives reports there are French forces massing between him and Mantua.
Oh, no.
Mantua is his priority, so he swings south, away from Kostanovic, towards a city Napoleon has already abandoned. By the time Wurmser realizes his error, it's too late.
Oh no!
He has gifted Napoleon...
No, you're joking. Wait, because even I was thinking, okay, so he got tricked here, or he was under false... he kind of like messed up in his intuition, his decision making.
So he swings south, away from Kostanovic, towards a city Napoleon has already abandoned.
Crazy.
By the time Wurmser realizes his error, it's too late. He has gifted Napoleon 24 crucial hours. A blunder,
That's
for which he will pay dearly.
No, that's a blunder. You know, because look, I'm telling you, there's no way he was getting away with that if this blunder didn't happen, you know. Like, I swear that probably would have ended badly for Napoleon. If not, it would have ended the campaign. But he blunders, just like the other guys been blundering. I keep forgetting their names, but damn, that's really good for Napoleon, man. That's probably saved him.
A blunder.
Insane.
For which he will pay dearly.
Insane. Nothing is lost while courage remains. So motivational, man. The General Massena.
The 3rd of August sees confused fighting west of Lake Garda. One French brigade slips through the wooded ravines unnoticed, straight into Salo, causing havoc behind the Austrian lines.
No joking.
But the Austrians repel 3 attacks on Gavardo, and all seems to be going well until their own advance meets Massena's division at Lonato. Massena's counterattack is led by the 32nd Demi Brigade, which is becoming known as one of the Army of Italy's most feared units.
Wow.
Bayonets only, Napoleon calls out. Wow. And you, 32nd, maintain your glorious reputation.
Wow.
The lead Austrian brigade is routed.
Ooh.
Colonel Junot, though wounded 6 times, accepts their commander's surrender. Kostanovich's force has been mauled. Fearing for the rest of his command, and with no word from Wurmser, he decides he must march back around Lake Garda to rejoin the army.
I can't believe that.
The same day, 15 miles to the south, General Augereau's division fights an aggressive rearguard action near Castiglione, keeping Wurmser at bay while Napoleon deals with Kostanovic. Augereau begins with a bold attack on General Liptay's vanguard, driving it back to high ground near Solferino. But here, Liptay receives steady reinforcements as the rest of the Austrian army begins to arrive. Augereau keeps up the pressure, preventing an Austrian advance. And though there's a late scare when enemy cavalry sweep around his left flank, they are unsupported and soon pull back.
Wow. I can't believe this, man.
For Augereau and his men, it is a long day of heroic action against a superior force, one which Napoleon will never forget. 12 years later, as emperor, he will make Augereau Duke of Castiglione, and always remind his critics, he saved us that day.
You did, man.
Nevertheless, by nightfall, Augereau's division is at breaking point. Our soldiers are exhausted from fatigue and hunger. If you don't send me reinforcements, I won't be able to hold out.
I'm not surprised.
Next morning, French troops renew the attack on Kostanovic, and quickly discover he's beating a hasty retreat. A major disaster is narrowly avoided when 3 lost Austrian battalions stumble into Napoleon's headquarters at Lonato.
Ooh.
They call on the general to surrender. Napoleon responds by loudly ordering his grenadiers and artillery into position, then demands that the Austrians surrender to him or be put to the sword.
Oh, this is insane.
It's a bold bluff. Few of his troops are anywhere near.
Oh, wow.
But the Austrians meekly lay down their arms.
Wow. A bold bluff.
As Napoleon swings his army round to take on Wurmser, the Austrian must decide whether to stand his ground or fall back to a stronger line behind the Mincio River. He chooses to stay put. By engaging Napoleon, he hopes to buy time for Kostanovic to regroup and resume his advance, and for Mantua to be resupplied.
But then he's not gonna do that.
His reasoning is sound, but his intelligence is out of date, and he's underestimated the speed at which Napoleon's forces will move.
Okay. For 8 days we have been in the saddle. We do not want to allow the enemy rest unless we have destroyed them. Yet destroyed him. That is intense.
At dawn on the 5th of August,
This video is crazy.
the Austrian army is 4 miles east of Castiglione, formed up in 2 lines. Its northern flank anchored on the village of Solferino, its southern flank on a well-fortified redoubt at Monte Medolano. Napoleon faces him with Massena's division in the north, Augereau's division in the centre, and Kilmain's cavalry in the south. He's also formed an elite unit of grenadiers and cavalry to be held back for the decisive moment. Napoleon doesn't seem to have much of an advantage. But he has 10,000 more troops converging rapidly on the battlefield.
Reinforcements.
5,000 under General Despinois, marching from Brescia. 5,000 more under General Fiorella, coming from the south. To buy time for these reinforcements to arrive, and to lure Wurmser out of position, Napoleon orders Massena and Augereau to attack. There is a short exchange of fire. Then the French begin a feigned retreat. The Austrians take the bait, some units advancing off the high ground, while Wurmser extends his right wing, looking to outflank Massena's division. Around 9 AM, the sound of gunfire from the south alerts both sides to Fiorella's arrival, behind the Austrian left flank. Napoleon immediately orders Augereau and Massena to attack again, in earnest.
This is crazy.
Despinois' troops arrive to join the assault. But Napoleon has sprung his trap too early. Wurmser is not yet fully committed, and reacts swiftly. He organizes a new line to fend off Fiorella, and hurriedly recalls his right wing. But he cannot save the redoubt at Monte Medolano. Napoleon's aide-de-camp, Major Marmont, leads forward a battery to blast the position. His guns open a devastating cannonade, clearing the way for an attack. Around 10 AM, the reserve grenadiers charge forward with bayonets fixed, sweeping the Austrians off the hill. Meanwhile, to the north, the 4th and 5th demi-brigades surge onto the Solferino heights.
This is insane,
and seize the redoubt before Pozzacatana. Carried forward by their momentum, they storm the Solferino tower and village beyond, the shaken enemy falling back in disarray. The Austrians are hard-pressed along the line, and now French cavalry and Fiorella's troops threaten to cut off their retreat. While Napoleon is active, energized, urging troops forward, Wurmser seems to go into shock. A French émigré serving with him recalled, "He watched without seeing anything, saying anything, hearing anything. This brave old man, his head covered with white hair, did not think anymore."
Wow, that's how intense this whole onslaught.
Finally, Wurmser orders a general retreat back across the Mincio River, covered by their cavalry and some late Austrian reinforcements. The French pursuit quickly peters out. After a week of forced marches in stifling heat, with little to eat or drink, Napoleon's men are close to collapse. But their general is content with what they have achieved.
Wow. 3-1 right there, man. The Austrian army has disappeared like a dream, and the Italy that they threatened is now quiet. That's facts though. They've done it like...
Wurmser's army finds temporary refuge behind the Mincio River.
Okay, they're retreating.
But Napoleon immediately resumes the attack.
Why?
Massena is sent north to relieve the French garrison at Peschiera and threaten Wurmser's line of retreat. The Austrian general has had enough. After ensuring the garrison of Mantua is fully resupplied and reinforced, he begins his withdrawal to the Tyrol to regroup and rethink. The French nip at his heels all the way.
I thought they were hella tired though.
Napoleon has just endured his toughest challenge yet as an army commander. And though initially wrong-footed by his adversary, he's displayed brilliant flexibility and his usual energy to weather the crisis and then triumph.
Yeah, he's built for this.
But Mantua remains the key to Italy, and while it stands unconquered, the Austrians will do everything in their power to save it.
Wow.
Wurmser will be back, and when he returns, he'll find himself on a collision course with Napoleon.
Oh wow.
As he launches his own attack on Austria itself. Thanks again to Enlisted.
Yeah, guys, look, that seems to be the end of the video, man. And again, he left us another cliffhanger. You saying the Wurmser guy and Napoleon could end up on a crash course directly one-on-one. Like, this is a battle for the victor right there. The most important battle seems like it's going to be happening in the next one. Guys, look, this has been intense. What a video, man. Look, this series has just continued to deliver again and again. And yeah, these episodes are insane, man. Again, shout out to Epic History for putting these videos together. They make it so much easier to digest. And wow, what a freaking just episode, man. There's so much that went on. Napoleon faced his most insane crisis that he's ever faced as an army commander, and he's managed to persevere through that. Look, if you can get through that, I feel like it's making sense how we can get through a lot of these things. He just seemed like he just has that personality and the determination, the work ethic to be able to, the intelligence to get through anything, man. And yeah, it's insane, man. It's almost like a rags to riches type of story, what he's able to do with that Italian army, man. But yeah, guys, look, that's my reaction. Let me know some of the things you thought about this episode. Let me know some of the parts that shocked you the most, and let me know if you're excited for this next episode coming up, guys. But yeah, guys, with that being said, again, playlist in the description if you want to see all the episodes I've done so far. And of course, like the video if you haven't already before heading on out, and guys, subscribe if you haven't already, guys. With that being said, I've been JayFlex. This has been Napoleon in Italy, Battle of Castiglione. Can't even say it right, but yeah, guys, and for those of you guys missed this point, you guys have been absolutely wonderful, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.